meet the many demands of performing their functions, managers assume multiple roles. The unique access to information places the manager at the center of organizational decision making. I, Shaurya, on behalf of the Ladder Podcast channel, welcome you all to this episode in series of interviews. Today we have Major Pawanjit Saluja, retired from Army, on the panel, presently working as loss manager in Amazon. Before I begin this interview, let us have a look at the glimpse of motto and purpose of our podcast channel.
Confusion is inevitable state of mind in all stages of life, be it the education, selection of life partner, or the job. More the options, more is the confusion. Despite being the exceptional military leaders, when it comes to transitioning from boots to suits, we again encounter the same confusion. Which job profile to select, what certification needs to be done, and where do we start are all questions that haunt the mind. We at The Ladder bridge this gap of unknown queries by interviewing veterans who are already well settled after their transition. We bring you their valuable experience and share guidance so that you all are benefited. Following the motto of once a soldier, always a soldier, we're here to fill that gap of mentoring and guidance so that bonhomie of armed forces fraternity remains intact.
All right. Major Saluja has 11 years of vast experience in Indian Army. He was commissioned in Technical Corps of EME, where he was looking after maintenance of various defense equipments. He is an engineering graduate in computer science and alumni of IIM Indore. He is presently pursuing his MBA. He is also certified Scrum Master and Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, and presently pursuing his PMP certification also. Now, currently, he is working as loss prevention manager in Amazon. I welcome you to this channel. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, and I am also looking forward to have a nice chat and Q&A with you.
Sir, to begin with the interview, sir, being a computer science graduate, why did you decide to join the Indian Army, sir?
See, joining Indian Army was always one thing that I looked up to when I was doing my education. So after finishing my engineering, when I got a chance to appear for the technical entry scheme, at that time we used to call it an UES, or short service technical for OTA guys. So when I got a chance to be a part of the interviews in my college, I took upon this opportunity, and I was lucky enough to crack it in one go. And that is how I guess it was always destined that after doing my engineering, I will join the forces.
So, do you have any work experience before joining the Army, sir?
No, straight away from my college, I joined the Indian Army right after my 4th year of engineering.
Okay, great, sir. So, why did you decide to leave the Army and join the corporate, sir?
Yeah, so it was during my 7th or 8th year that I decided, okay, now I've got a feel of how things work inside the defense forces, and then I thought it was high time to explore what lies outside. So it was during my 8th year I decided I'll just leave Army after my mandatory 10 years of assignment. So after 10 years, I left the forces in 2021.
Sir, why did you decide to join the corporate instead of other PSU/government jobs?
See, government job as a part of defense forces, we were working in government sector. PSU was not my interest area because the kind of challenges, this personally, I feel the kind of challenges that private sector presents to you, the kind of growth opportunities, the salary bandwidth, everything that is offered in corporate, I think it is very difficult to get those aspects in PSU. So personally, I liked what corporate brings with it, and that is why I decided to go for it.
Great, sir. So, were you recruited through the Amazon veteran hiring program, sir?
My 10 years in September 2021, I joined the resettlement course from IIM Indore. It started straight away after my 10 years of assignment. So when I was towards the end of my resettlement or PRC course, as we call it, We heard that Amazon is going to come for veteran hiring programs, and then I decided to apply for the same.
So, can you explain about your role as a loss prevention manager in the Amazon, sir? What exactly you look after?
See, my particular role is of loss prevention, but just to be clarify to the audience, Amazon do give you an opportunity to work in a lot of roles. From loss prevention to working as program manager, there is a huge bandwidth of role that is available for veteran officers. Now, coming particular to my role, it is basically as a company, Amazon do undergo losses, and to prevent those losses, there is a team that works day in and day out to prevent the losses, the modus of operandi of losses, and how to ensure that procedures and mechanisms are in place that these kind of things do not happen. So that is mota basically what my job there is.
Okay, sir. Sir, while in this veteran hiring program, does the background of a armed forces officer, like technical or the non-technical, as a arm wise, does it matter really in such roles?
No, actually, it does not. It does not. See, what people are looking when they are hiring veterans is how have you performed in your 10 years? I mean, when I say how have you performed, I mean what kind of qualities that you bring in. That it does not matter which core or which stream you are in when you were in uniform, but the qualities, the attitude that we bring in is more or less common. It might be there if someone is very good in technical, so he might go to a high tech stream, but that is a very individual based choice and individual based option. Otherwise, to go into a particular company, your background in the forces, whether you are in a technical stream or a non technical stream, does not matter a lot.
Okay, sir. And do you feel the networking is very important for a transitioning officer?
It is the most important thing. The most important thing you have to do is networking. See, veteran hiring program, some companies might be having it, some companies might not be having it. But if you are good at networking, you have contacts with people, have contacts with your seniors who are sitting in those companies, the least they can do is guide you. They can guide you to the right person, to the right place, that this is how you need to go about taking up a particular role. So networking indeed is very important when you are thinking about transition from military to corporate.
Did you take any external assistance from consultancy for resume building or LinkedIn profile building, something like that?
Personally, I did not take any kind of assistance, but if someone is taking assistance or someone wants to take assistance, it is not a bad option. My way of thinking was I thought the best I can represent myself is through myself only. I mean, I am the best judge of what I have done and what I can do when I am presenting my resume to a company. So personally, I did not take assistance, but there are a lot of officers who take a professional assistance, and there is no harm in it. If you think you're not good at something, then just outsource it. Just let the agency build your resume, build your LinkedIn profile, tell them what kind of work have you done, and they are good enough. They know how to present a veteran's resume and they are good at it. So there is no harm in it. Personally, I did not do that.
Okay, sir. And how important is the MBA, sir? Like a distance MBA, executive MBA, there are multiple options. So tell us about the importance and is the best option one should think about.
See, what I feel is even though I have also completed, I've just finished my last semester of MBA, and I did a distance MBA. But what I personally feel is, if someone wants to go for MBA, if you have time, if you have bandwidth, you can spend that much of time and money on that, then go for a full-time MBA. Maybe finish your 10 years or 14 years and go for a full-time MBA. It will present you with a lot of better opportunities. But if you ask specifically just to get hired or to get a job, is MBA important? Might not be that much, because what you are bringing with you is that 10 years of experience that will hold you good to take any kind of job or any kind of challenge in corporate. So for that purpose, MBA is not important. But if you want to excel in your career, you have your age with you and you can spend 2 years, you can spend that much amount of money, then go for a full-time MBA. I hope I'm able to answer what you were asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for a transitioning officer, it's optional, but one can plan out, and full-time MBA would be
Yes.
appropriate one.
Yes, what you are bringing with you is good enough to land you up in any job. But still, if you want to grow more, excel more, then go for a full-time MBA from a good tier one institute.
Okay, great, sir. Please tell us about the certifications where you have done, like Lean, Green Sigma, and the PMP, what you are presenting. What all relevant and how important they are?
The certifications, for doing certifications, one has to be very clear that in which domain one wants to work. If you are looking for doing something in project management, then go for some gold standard certification like PMP. If you're wanting to do something in security, then go for gold standard certifications like CPP, or I mean, there are a lot of certification security also, like Certified Fraudulent Expert, CFE, Physical Security Professional, PSP. So before doing certification, one has to be very clear that which domain I want to move in: project management, PMP, or security. Then these certificates like Scrum Master and Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, they do not take much of your time. You can do it while doing while you're doing your PRC course. So that can be done along with your course. But these certificates like PMP, CPP, PSP, they will take time. So once you have decided your domain, then one should start preparing for the certification. How important it is, it definitely gives you edge. See, when you're competing against 20 of people who have same caliber, then there has to be something in your resume which will shine you through. And that just something can be done by that certification. Otherwise, everyone is more or less on the same page.
Okay, sir. Sir, is this a PMP certification substitute for the proper MBA degree or the graduation?
No, no, no. PMP cannot be a substitute for an MBA, because in MBA you will learn a lot of things, a variety of subjects, and in PMP it is specifically project management. What is the project life cycle? What are the terminologies you take for a project? What are the actions that you have to do when you are handling a project? So PMP cannot be a substitute for a full-time MBA.
Sir, if somebody wants to do the PMP certification and as well as the MBA, then it is okay.
Yes, yes, yes. PMP will see, if you go for it seriously, PMP will take somewhere between 2 to 3 months if you do it seriously. So you can do it along with your regular course that you're doing. There is not that much of an issue, but it will give you an edge in a different domain. MBA will give you more of an holistic approach.
Okay, sir. So please tell us about the usefulness of these veteran hiring drives done by various companies and how one should approach for this veteran hiring.
See, usefulness, yes, they are indeed very useful, because in when if you are applying directly to any company or any particular role, your resume is amongst a lot of people in the civil domain who have worked in the same field. But when you apply through a veteran hiring drive, then you are competing, or your resume is amongst the veterans that are there. So it is very important, if you can, the timeline matches, and if when you are planning to transition, some or the other good companies are doing this veteran hiring drive, then please go through that veteran hiring drive. And the best way is be connected with your peers. Like if someone is working in a particular company, he can let you know that our veteran hiring drive is going to start in May, our veteran hiring drive is going to start in October, because different companies have different timelines. Or when you're doing a PRC course, then your placement committee, they can always approach a particular company ki, see, at this particular time so many officers are doing this course, so can you conduct a veteran hiring drive for us? And if they are keen on that, they will take 2 or 3 colleges in pool of veterans, and then they will conduct a drive. So the best way is during your PRC course through your placement committee. Otherwise, networking with your peers who are working in that particular company, so they can tell you about the veteran hiring program.
Okay, sir. Sir, how important is this first interview and the salary negotiation for a transitioning officer?
See, first interview and salary negotiation are completely two different things. When you are going to appear for an interview, there is going to be a set of interviews. A loop of interviews are going to be there. It can be 3 rounds, 5 rounds, rounds, 6 rounds, depending upon the company and depending upon the level that you are appearing. So every round, every loop is important. Salary negotiation, I will say more or less, on an average, companies have set up a benchmark where they know this is their benchmark for officers who are in category of 10 to 14 years of service. This is the benchmark for 14 to 20, and this is for 20 plus. So I have not seen many officers doing a negotiation like someone was offered X and he had gone till X plus 10. These kind of negotiations personally I have not seen. If you have been offered an X amount, you can go X plus 2, X plus 3. Only these kind of negotiations happen because they already know that what is your bracket and how much are you getting in other companies. So that much negotiation, sorry, but that does not happen if you are thinking in that lines.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you tell us that generally there is a myth about company shifting for getting the better hikes? So how important and worth it is?
See, it is worth, and it is worth when you have first you have settled down in one company. When as a veteran, when we are transitioning, it is very important to settle into a company, say for 2 years at least, because initial 6 months to you will be learning. You do not know what is happening, what are their jargons, what are their deliverables, what are your deliverables. Then after 6 months, when you know that okay, these are my deliverables, and you deliver them in next 1 year, then you can look forward to other company and see what kind of growth opportunity different companies giving you. In civil domain, yes, I have seen people migrating from one company to other, but what I feel is 1.5 to 2 years or 2 years is what one should take before thinking about switching to other company.
Okay, sir. What are the key lessons from army life which you feel that they were very useful in your corporate job?
The first was just be yourself. Don't give up. Don't give up. This is the best lesson that I've learned because see, when we are in army, we think we are class apart. And yes, we are. We are very much confident that we can go and speak to anyone. That thing one should continue. That is the lesson which I have got. I did not care that who was taking my interview on what level he or she was. And even if when I'm working, I feel very confident that I can go and speak to anyone in the hierarchy because that was the confidence which our organization gives us. So what I feel is just be confident, do not give up on yourself, do not give up on anything. What you have done in uniform will sail you through. You just need to be yourself, present yourself, and do not give up.
Great, sir. Sir, what are the foreign opportunities in your role?
See, personally, I have not explored them yet, so I don't think I'll be able to answer that question.
But they do exist, right? If somebody wants to do a project management role in any company for that matter.
100%, they exist. Particularly in the company that I am working in, you can always switch your role within 6 months. There are vacancies that are open. There are vacancies that are visible to everyone. So if you think a particular role in a particular country suits you, you just need to speak to the hiring manager, tell about yourself, tell about your present role, and if you feel that it is a good match, and if the hiring manager feels it is a good match, then you can always apply for international transfers.
Okay, sir. Sir, is there any job restriction through these veteran hiring drives? If somebody joins, like they have to serve for minimum 5 years, 3 years, like that?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. If you're talking about a contract, that if someone is coming through a veteran hiring drive, you have to serve for a particular amount of time, nothing like that is there.
Okay, sir. And what do you miss from your uniform life, sir?
I guess uniform. Uniform is what I miss. Wearing that uniform, the sense of pride that a uniform used to give me every day, that is what I miss.
Absolutely, sir. So was it difficult for you to adjust in the civil life, sir?
Touch wood, hopefully, I mean, till now, not everything has been very smooth. And I have not found any difficulty, maybe because of the environment I was in, the kind of company that I'm working with, the kind of environment that is provided. It is very conducive for veterans. So as of now, my transition has been smooth. And most of the officers that I've seen with me doing my PFC course, they also have a good transition. So people outside are welcoming. They do welcome you what you bring in, and they do see that you with respect. So what we need to do is just deliver on the expectations and work best.
Okay, sir. Sir, if somebody is planning to pursue the MBA, maybe distance or the full time, then this PRC course is useful, or they can skip on that part.
If someone is planning to do this full-time MBA, they can skip on to the PRC course, yes. But my advice will be, even if you're planning to do a full-time MBA, do PRC course while you are serving. I don't see any harm in that. If when you are serving in your last 6 months, you can do PRC course. I mean, it is paid and you are authorized to do that. So just do that course and then continue with your MBA, because the full-time MBA as such you cannot start till you are in service, and PRC course you can always finish when you're in service. So what is the harm? If not anything, it will just give you exposure. You will make new friends in all the tri services. You will see how a placement committee works. You will see what kind of companies are coming. You can see what is the hiring process, and which will give you an edge while you are doing a full-time MBA.
All right, sir. Sir, any last word of advice for the officers under transitioning phase?
Just be confident. Even when I was transitioning, people said me hundreds of things, that it is going to be difficult. Market is like that. Market will be like that. You will not get jobs, and you will not get the kind of packages that you are looking for. Just don't listen to all those things. Be confident. You know what is your worth, and you know that what you bring in, you are going to get a good job, and everyone is going to get a good job. There are some things in which you might adjust, maybe location, maybe your salary, but just go with the flow. Do not worry. Things are going to fall in place, and they do fall in place for everyone. For someone, it can happen in 3 months. For other, it will happen in 6 months. So just be confident and do well.
Thank you so much for your valuable time and advice that you have shared, sir. I'm sure the officers looking for veteran hiring drive, especially in Amazon, will be benefited by this episode. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and looking forward to see you on the other side. Cheers.